Hey guys, one second. Okay, hey guys, oh my God, this was so impromptu. Yeah, I mean, totally impromptu, all right? And I know that this might be strange to a lot of you watching this live right now. You're wondering, Gloria Elijah did not put out a video, she did it live. Ladies and gentlemen, for the sake of my life, so I do not pass out, I had to. Because last night, in fact, the whole of yesterday has been so chaotic. There's just been so much going on. I was preparing the diary sessions video, and then before I knew it, Big Brother had informed the housemates to get ready in 2 hours that they were going to be experiencing a welcome dinner organized by him. And I kind of sensed that there was going to be a problem afterwards. Why? Because if you have watched any season of Big Brother and Zamzia, especially the most recent season that happened earlier this year, you'd have gotten the drift already. The welcome dinner is kind of usually a trap, to get the housemates to get into their feelings. They play games that get to reveal their true perceptions about their fellow housemates. So I kind of sensed that a lot of people were going to get in their feelings and there was going to be a lot of chaos in the house. But I did not know that it was going to be this explosive. And ladies and gentlemen, the chaos was so much. The drama was so much. Two fights, between two people that actually happened twice, and then another one between two very good friends. And guys, I was just asking myself, Glory, how are you going to compound all of these updates into one video? It's going to be too lengthy. It's going to be a lot. And I'm going to be editing and editing and editing for hours. It's just going to be unending. And so I decided that, okay, you know what? This is an alternative, right? So ladies and gentlemen, bear with me. If you cannot hear my soundtrack, my apologies. If you cannot see videos or pictures of these housemates, bear with me, my apologies. I want to be sure that by now, a lot of you are familiar with the names and faces of these housemates. So we shouldn't have a problem, all right? So now that all of that is out of the way, proper introductions, you are all specially welcome to this special coverage of I think the day 3 or day 4 right now. I don't even know which particular day we are on. Yeah, but just last night's event. All right, a lot happened, and what I intend to do is to take my time to analyze all of them. All right, so go ahead, enjoy your time here, watch this live to the end, and yes. So what do? I think I'm going to begin with the dinner. The video I put out, I actually summarized how the dinner was, the atmosphere, the ambience, conversations that happened during the dinner and some that happened after. But I actually skipped off the game that Big Brother introduced to the housemates, all right? And that game was, in a way, part of the reason there was a lot of commotion in the house. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get comfortable here. So, as I was saying, the game was Big Brother providing some random objects, right? Some random objects. And each housemate was to pick any of the objects, present it to any of the housemates, and tell everybody why you gave that object to that housemate. And it was a very interesting experience because the housemates are many in number, like 29 of them. I'm not going to waste your time going into details because, quite frankly, I was kind of disappointed at how kumbaya-ish that entire game was. Everybody was trying to be nice, everybody was trying to be chilled. I mean, when we talk about Bibi and Zamzi, a lot of people were very savage and very, very brutal and blunt with their descriptions and their reasons for presenting certain items to their fellow housemates. Some people were like, I think you're a snake. This one was like, I think you're a snitch. It was that brutal, But with these 10 over 10 housemates, I understand. I felt like everybody, they probably did not really understand the assignment, or they just wanted to let love and light reign at that point in time. You get what I mean? So, certain housemates got more gifts or items with very pleasant words than others. We had is it culture? We had culture. We had Rooboy. We also had Big Soso. Yes, we also had Big Soso. We also had the head of house. The head of house received a lot of accolades for being the best head of house for the week because, according to all the housemates, there was no better person for the job because it's been a chaotic first few days of the season already. So it was a lovely experience, but I was actually expecting more savagery, more rawness from the housemates. Yeah. But anyways, let's just quickly move on, right? To oh, guys, I thought that this was a video. I wanted to come and cut and film another one. Apologies about that. Anyways, I was going to mention that during this particular game, guess who declared that somebody cut his heart in the house? Ladies and gentlemen, it is none other than the person that presented himself to be the oracle of Big Brother's house. The one guy that said that there's nothing that will make him approach a girl because if a girl likes him, the girl should do the work and approach him instead. And guess what? It's none other than Dabrowski. Dabrowski, that's his name. This guy said that he likes Zita. So he presented her with something. Zita also presented him with a snake, saying that, he keeps her warm. And he said he really, really likes her. On a normal day, he's actually shy. So he uses all of his hard guyness to cover everything. And I was looking at this guy, I'm like, hey, Oracle. Were you not the same person that said that you don't approach girls? Like you're not particularly interested? And you see, that was sort of like an official announcement of their ship because after that dinner, despite all the fight and chaos that was going on in the house, they did not send anybody. They just carried themselves to the garden and they were just talking about, when we first caught each other's eyes, when we first met, when we first said hi to each other, why didn't you talk to me? Why did that? I'm just looking at this guy. I say, brotherhood is disappointed in this your fall because this guy fell yakata. He fell completely. But then again, you never know if it is because of the fear of eviction and the need to create content and the need to be interesting, the need to be on a ship, something relevant that will get people talking. We don't know. So we'll have to wait to find out. All right. Now, moving on to conversations that happened after the dinner. Ladies and gentlemen, the first conversation was between Gigi, Jasmine, and Doris. Gigi was apologizing to Doris for not being there for her the way Doris wanted, because apparently during the diary session yesterday, there was a lot of altercations in the house. Housemates were saying that they even had up to 5 altercations, like for the entire day. And one was between Doris against Day Day and her friend Mide, right? I had mentioned on one of my videos that Day Day had been having a conversation with Doris, where Doris was explaining her that whatever she said was not an attack against both of them doing their makeup, that it was a general statement. And apparently it was a big argument. So Gigi was explaining the reason why she had not quickly moved on to Doris to pacify her. According to her, there were a lot of people rushing to her to pacify her, and she did not want to get in the way or make it look like she's doing eye service. So she said, okay, later on she will go and check on Doris. By the time she went again, Doris was in a meeting where they were discussing the wager presentation, so she did not want to disturb. And so during the dinner in the arena, she had actually presented an item with very, very sweet, kind words to Doris. So she had apologized to Doris, and I told Doris that, listen, whatever happens in this house, I need you to know that our friendship is my priority. So now, here on now, I need you to tell me how I can be how I can be a good friend to you and how I can serve your feelings, and not dismiss your feelings any other time again, and they are squashed their differences and they are good now. Now, the other conversation that happened was Ibi Fubara, reaffirming everything she said to what's her name, Sabrina in the arena. She had actually presented an item and had said that Sabrina is very real. She's very sweet, genuine. And that was quite shocking to me because I'm like, is it the same Sabrina? But whatever. For me, it felt like a very strategic move because Sabrina has some sort of influence in the house amongst that their gossip gang. And Ibifubara knows that in a way she's in a bit of a disadvantage, having Isabella as a friend. Isabella is more like the black horse of the house, an antagonist to a lot of people. So he felt like she wanted to be in the good books of Sabrina and her friends. Hence the reason she presented that item. Anyways, she reaffirmed all she had said in the arena, and they hugged things out. And Sabrina had said she needed a professional advice from Ibifubara. And this is with regards to Ibifubara's friend, Big Soso. So Sabrina was reporting Big Soso to Ibifubara, saying that when they first came into the house, what made her and Soso click was a conversation that Soso was having with somebody else about some NGO that they wanted to take up that they were already into. And because of how they spoke about it passionately, she decided that is something she definitely wants to go into. But then there was something that happened between Soso and Imisi, where Imisi had, refused to prepare food for the boys. And Big Soso did not like the way and manner in which Imisi had made that statement. So, according to her, she expected that Big Soso would have gotten past it. But then something else had happened. And according to how Sabrina put it, she said that Big Soso had weaponized what Imisi had said before. And that had made her see her in a different light because it made her wonder, like, okay, you have an NGO where you take care of the girls that are, sold into early marriages in the north. So why did you say what you said the way you said it? Now, because the camera kept on moving to other people that were having conversations, I did not really catch what exactly Sabrina's bone of contention was with Big Soso. But that was not the first time that Sabrina would complain about Big Soso. Yes. So she was asking for professional advice, and Ibifubara had advised her to have a conversation, at her own time with Big Soso, just so that they can squash everything. Because according to Sabrina, they are good. They've been communicating. They still have a rapport, but she still cannot forget that episode because it is still stuck in her head. And you see, listening to Sabrina, guys, I was just shaking my head. I said, you know what, whatever. At the end of the day, it's a game. But the truth has to be said. Sabrina is no saint. And from the look of things, there's a possibility that she's misconstruing that whole situation with Big Soso. But I am waiting for both of them to have a sit-down conversation so that I can actually hear from both sides. Because Sabrina also has a knack for deliberately misconstruing and misreading people. Yeah. But anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. Now, the next conversation was between Tracy and Otega. Ladies and gentlemen, Tracy was crying. I felt really bad for her. She was crying because she felt really lonely. And I understood where she was coming from because in that arena, when everybody was presenting different gifts to different people, some people receiving 5, some people receiving 4, and so on, certain housemates felt left out. They felt unloved. They felt unseen. Imisi was also one of such housemates because at some point she picked up a spoon and said, you know what, I'm picking up this spoon because I want to eat at everybody's table. I don't care whose table it is. And then she said she was presenting that spoon to herself. So I really felt bad for her because it felt like everybody in the house already had their go-to people, their safe haven, their comfort zone, or people who they really want to potentially build an alliance with. And so it just felt like some people were just trying to, now create such alliances. And so they had to do what they had to do. And it made people like Imisi and Tracy feel left out. So Tracy was crying and she said she felt really lonely in the house. Most of the time she's the one that is always jumping to people for conversations, but nobody brings conversations to her. That even Big Soso that she feels like they are friends, that most of the time she's the one that goes to Big Soso for conversations. That it's not like Big Soso is a bad person, but because Big Soso most of the time has responsibilities around the house, it's either she's cooking or mothering over people. And she even pointed out to Tega that even you, that you're here too, you don't bring gist to me. The only time you talk to me is when you are talking to your crew. Otherwise, you don't really send me like that. 1 second, guys. So, Otega was consoling her. But at the same time, it was trying to defend himself that no, that he cares about her, he cares about everybody, blah, blah, blah. And at some point, Tracy also was able to talk to Mide and Day, and they listened to her, they encouraged her, and even encouraged her to come sit down with them sometimes, or they would sit with her and have conversations with her so that she does not feel lonely anymore. She also had conversations with Kaikumi, yeah, and it was a very good conversation. At the end of the night, she felt lighter in spirit, and I was kind of happy for her. But at the same time, I feel like, girl, this is a competition. If you're feeling lonely, get out of your shell and make friends. Get out of your shell, approach people, enforce yourself, and ensure that you stamp yourself in conversations. Because she was telling stories about how isolated she was in school, and she was completely oblivious of things happening around her, even in her family. She admitted that she has that knack for not really caring about what was happening around her. And so it seems like it followed her into adulthood. And in a way, I could totally relate. But in a competition like this, in such a hostile environment where the competition is very, very tense, you cannot afford to remain the same. Yes, everybody is saying be yourself, but how long can you be yourself? You can't even survive alone in a house like Big Brother's house. It's a cutthroat, fast-paced environment, a confined space for that matter. You need someone or people that you can, bond with. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you think about that. Let me know your thoughts. Now, there was then hold on. Let me check if I am getting the chronology of events right. Yes. It was at this point that Rooboy and Jason J were having their own argument. Now, it wasn't really much of an altercation because Jason J was really tired. The guy was exhausted, but Rooboy really wanted to create content. He wanted to get his own highlights. So the same thing he did to his best friend, Kocho. That was the same thing he did to Jason J, telling the guy, I don't want your friendship. No, I don't have any friends in this house, so nobody will come and spoil my game, blah, blah, blah. So apparently what actually happened was when they were observing the dinner experience in the arena, Jason J was really pressed. And a lot of people were taking time to give their speech, right? So it was getting towards the end, but there were still a lot of people, and a lot of people were pressed to pee. He was particularly really pressed. Like, this guy almost peed his pants. So he started begging the remaining housemates that had not taken their turn to hasten up to be fast because he was almost going to pee himself. So, unfortunately, it happened that it was his paddy, his friend, Rooboy's turn. And we know that Rooboy talks a lot. So, he was now telling Rooboy, guy, I beg now, like, guy, please, hurry up here, hurry up so that everybody can finish, so that I can talk my own and everybody will go inside. Because he wasn't even the only person that was pressed to pee. So, Rooboy picked offense. Now, later on, after the whole dinner, when they got into the house, I don't know who approached who because the story was not really clear. But I think, I think Rooboy approached him to complain about the way he had hastened his own speech. And according to Rooboy, Jason J had told him, Oga, F off jaw, like playfully, because of course they are friends, they are G's, and this is what they do to each other, especially for someone like Rooboy, who is very, very quick to dismissing the emotions of his friends, or the feelings rather of his friends. And Rooboy decided to capitalize on that to create content. So the guy was just shouting and talking and throwing in the bin his friendship with Jason J. Now, Culture felt like he was overreacting and was trying to talk him, like trying to pacify him, but he was also attacking Culture, telling Culture not to stop him from talking. Guys, next thing we knew, because, okay, Jason J apologized to him and, took accountability for what he said, but Rooboy said no, that he was done with the friendship. He wants to play his game, blah, blah. Guys, we all know that it is because these people are afraid that they are all up for eviction and one of them might be going home. So everybody wants to create content. Ladies and gentlemen, Rooboy automatically started a smear campaign against his friend, Jason J, the head of house. And he was so funny but sad as well to watch, because he was literally reporting Jason J to every Tom, Dick, and Harry in that house that cared to listen. And he was garnishing the story, painting Jason J to be a very terrible human being. And I think another reason he was doing that was because he and Jason J received the most compliments and items in the arena during Big Brother's game. So it felt like he now sensed that, this guy is a huge competition that I have to eliminate, friendship or not. So this guy was really going for the jugular. And this thing really hurt Jason J to the point that he had to go and seek solace from Day. And Day was such a good friend. She gave him a shoulder to lean on, gave him some sort of therapy session, asked him a lot of questions. And at the end of the night, Jason J, really expressed how betrayed he felt. He felt like his friends betrayed him because he was just being playful, but the guy blew everything way out of proportion. So what ended up happening at that point in time was that whilst that altercation was happening between K-Bobo and Mensan, Rooboy was also raising his voice and shouting as well, because he also wanted to draw attention to his own situation with Jason J. And it was just so sad to see, guys. I felt really bad. But at the same time, I had to give Rooboy his flowers. I had to give him his accolades because that guy was really smart. He was really strategic. He wanted to trend and he was trending. He wanted his highlights. He was getting his highlights. But then the highlight was not really complete because Jason J already knew the drill. He knew that this guy wanted to get highlights. So he did not indulge him. He just allowed the guy to be ranting. He kept quiet. And anybody that came to him to come and ask him what was going on, he did not entertain questions. He did not give anybody the audience. He only went ahead to seek solace in his very good friend, his trusted friend, Day. So Day advised him that, dude, remember you're in a competition. You cannot entirely put all your eggs in one basket and put all your trust and hope in one friend, because what you're feeling right now, that feeling of betrayal, that feeling of disappointment, that feeling of whatever it is, regret, you will end up feeling it again and again and again. And that was where Jason J revealed to Day that actually, he had actually noticed this character of Rooboy, of not giving an actual F about his friends when it comes to getting something. That is how Rooboy is. He doesn't care about anybody. So long as he gets it himself, doesn't care about his so-called friends. So he decided to give the guy the benefit of doubt because he felt like, he's just a fun-loving guy. But now he has now realized that beneath all of that layers, all of that facade of, I'm a good boy, I'm a good guy, I'm nice, I'm cool, I'm chill, there's a very, very vindictive soul beneath. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would love to hear your thoughts about that because I really felt bad for Jason J. But at the same time, guys, it's a competition. Games will be played. Players will play. So you cannot hate the player. It is the game that you will hate because the game is really high-tensioned game. So anything goes. People will do whatever it takes to get ahead in the game. Now, what else? Let me see. Oh, yeah. IVATAR and OTEGA. ladies and gentlemen, I had done a video earlier where I shared about how these two had had a serious altercation earlier yesterday with Sabrina in the mix. That video is up on my channel. So somebody had talked to IVATAR to go and apologize to what's his name now, Otega, for telling him to F off, to make peace with him. And she had decided to do the needful. Only for her to approach the table where they were having meetings and deliberations about the wager. And she apologized to Otega. And Otega told her, get the hell out of here. You're a sore loser. Like, dismissed her. And she was so shocked. And she was so angry because for her, I'm trying to make peace here. And this is what you're doing, So it really pissed her off. And once again, it was another shouting spree. And IVATAR was so mad at herself for even making that attempt to go and make peace. She was so angry. And guys, I totally understood where she was coming from because I was even angry on her behalf. Like, girl, why would you even go and apologize? And guys, I understood why Otega did what he did. Remember, I mentioned earlier on this video that, okay, not even this video, on my previous video, that he and Sabrina at the dinner, they were commending each other for the way they handled IVATAR. They were commending each other, and Otega was saying that he lost the chaos, he lost the quarrel, and he wants it to continue. He does not want there to be peace. He wants the malice to continue. So when this girl, IVATAR, came to apologize to make peace, he did not want peace. He wanted violence. Ladies and gentlemen, crazy, right? Anyways, what's the next story? Oh yeah, guys, hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to get the next story. Oh yeah, I get it now. So, the new couple in the house, Victory and Gigi Jasmine. Victory had gone to have a private conversation with Mide outside in the garden. Gigi has seen them and she was quite unhappy. She wasn't really happy. And from the look of things, Victory is making it look like, I want to be with you, but I don't want everybody to feel like we are inseparable. So you go ahead and fraternize with other people, and I'm going to go ahead and connect with other people. But Gigi is panicking. She's what they call it. She doesn't know how to handle the situation. She's scared that the guy is playing her. She's scared that she's overdoing it. She doesn't just know how to handle herself. So she was not happy. And so Victory noticed it, went to talk to her, and was trying to, apologize. In fact, it was really apologizing to her. And he told her that, okay, look, if me sitting with other girls and having certain types of conversation really gets to you, I'm going to stop doing it. Not because it is wrong, but because it makes you sad. And I don't want you to be sad. So that was what he told her, and, gave her a lot of assurances, apologized to her, and told her that she was too soft. She needed to toughen up a bit, but still be herself. And guys, I felt like that was such a sweet moment. But at the same time, I don't know yet if I should say that Gigi Jasmine is actually faking it, acting out a script, or if that is who she truly is. Because I'm thinking, girl, it's only been 3 days or 4 days now, and the way you are falling completely head over heels in love with this guy, come on. It's insane. You are going to get hurt if you continue like this. I mean, guys, I don't know what you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, the next story, Kai Kumi admitted to Gigi that the other girl that he is actually attracted to, aside Isabella, is Mide. And so Gigi had advised him to have a conversation with Mide, just as he had a conversation with Isabella. Because, guys, Isabella cried herself to sleep. Oh, yeah, she and Mide, they had a conversation. Or rather, she and Kai Kumi, they had a conversation. The conversation still did not end well. So she went to bed earlier than everybody else and she cried herself to sleep. So Kai Kumi went to go have a conversation with Mide, and opened up to Mide. And Mide said, well, I heard the conversation when you were having it. Now, I do not know the conclusion of their conversation, but I think Mide rejected whatever Kumi is trying to bring to her because she's not interested in that kind of, triangle. Yeah. And then, I think I've also mentioned the last one, Day-Day's therapy session for Jason J. Yeah, it was such a beautiful moment watching both of them, in their friendship element. Day being there for Jason J, and his mood was lightened because he actually shed tears. He shed tears over the very hurtful things that Rooboy was saying about him, the smear campaign, all of those things got to him, and the guy was weak. He shed tears to the point that he even had to go and meet Gigi Jasmine for a hug. And that was when I knew how deeply hurt he was. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the update. I'm just so relieved that I've been able to bring you all up to speed about everything that happened yesterday. Yeah, so I'm going to stop talking here right now. Yeah, I wish this was a proper live where I could really get your feedback. But don't worry, we're going to do all of that on Saturday. And also don't forget that there is another video coming up, the diary session of the first 9 housemates, right? Okay, not like in that order, but 9 housemates had their diary session yesterday. Very explosive, very interesting. That video will be uploaded very soon today, before I upload the video for the next set of housemates that will have their diary session. So officially, I'm signing out. I'm going to stop talking here right now. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please make sure you like this video, share your comments in the comment section, and I will see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic day. Bye.